Hi, my name is Ashley Herman, and this is my final project for criminal investigation techniques. Okay, so investigative technologies. Investigators use an extensive amount of databases to match samples of DNA, bullets, fingerprints, or other forensic means to that of which are already in the database. The most well-known databases would be CODIS, which is a DNA database, and APHIS, which is a fingerprint database. Thermal imaging is not as commonly used because it's deemed an unreasonable type of warrantless surveillance, but it is effective in locating grow houses that are hydroponically grown and produce a lot of heat, such as marijuana. Location-based tracking systems, such as GPS, have been placed on cars and trucks to track a suspect's location. These are more efficient economically and in general because they don't require a surveillance team and the resources that might not be available. 3D technologies have been more commonly used thanks to advanced technology. 3D technologies would include 3D facial reconstruction and 3D reconstruction of a crime scene. These are helpful in identifying and reconstructing things that can't be physically reconstructed. Gas chromatography and mass spectrometry are used in identifying trace amounts of chemicals and inorganic substances. This would be the case of an arson, where an investigator can identify the accelerant used, so they might use gas chromatography to identify the substance. So the importance of police reports. Police reports are the only background that many personnel use to get background on a case, so it's extremely important that they are legible, organized, and clear. Poorly written reports leave the prosecution open to merely interpreting what the officer tried to say, and it gives the defense an upper hand in confusing the officer's testimony. Police reports reflect the chain of custody as well, so it should accurately reflect the personnel who had access to the evidence, where the evidence was collected, how the evidence was stored, and where the evidence was found. Information doesn't stop because the initial report was finished, so supplemental reports are added when new information is learned, and this gives investigators chances for new leads. It's essential these reports, the supplemental reports and the initial report, are factual and accurate, and so because they could be later become testimony within a court, so opinions and other elements that were added necessarily could destroy an officer's credibility. If an officer needs to add an opinion, they need to do so logically and without emotion. So the collection and preservation of evidence. Evidence should be collected by one investigator if possible to limit the chain of custody to one officer, and this avoids the unnecessary recalling of many officers to collect and preserve and label the evidence and testify in court for collecting the evidence and just an extensive use. This often isn't the case though, because crime scenes may require an extensive use in manpower, so it may require more than one officer to begin the chain of custody. The style of collection should be decided based on the nature of the crime and which methods investigators believe would suit that crime. So search methods include like the square method and the spiral method and other means of searching the crime scene. And again, this all depends on what the investigator deems best.